नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 11, verse number 13. Nopeyatam yada hutau क्रीडा संगेन पुत्रकौ यशोदां प्रेषयामास रोहिणी पुत्रवत्सला. Word to word meaning: न उपेयातां, would not return home, yada, when, ahutau, they were called back from playing, krida sangena, because of so much attachment to playing with other boys, putrakau, the two sons, Krishna and Balaram, Yashodam, Preshayam asa, sent Mother Yashoda to call them, Rohini, Mother Rohini, Putravatsalam, because Mother Yashoda was more affectionate mother to Krishna and Balaram. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: because of being too attached to playing with the other boys, Krishna and Balaram did not return upon being called by Rohini. Therefore Rohini sent Mother Yashoda to call them back, because Mother Yashoda was more affectionate to Krishna and Balaram. Purport: Yashodam Preshayam asa. These very words show that since Krishna and Balaram did not care to return in response to the order of Rohini, Rohini thought that if Yashoda called, they would have to return, for Yashoda was more affectionate to Krishna and Balaram. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vatham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahamadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So it is extremely embarrassing for me to speak here in this holy land of Vrindavan, where Krishna's pastimes have taken place. So many Acharya's pastimes have taken place. Actually, I am not at all qualified, and especially Panchagauda Prabhu is sitting here. It's like, I am like a kid in front of him. Because I should be hearing from him more, but Prabhuji can judge whether I can speak properly or not. He is such a senior, and so many other senior Vaishnavas are sitting, Vaishnavis are sitting. So I seek blessings of all of you, especially Prabhuji, so that I can speak properly in Parampara for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and for my own purification. So this is chapter 10th, canto 10th, chapter 11th, which is describing the childhood pastimes of Krishna. So these are some of the final purports Srila Prabhupada gave, because the 13th chapter of this 10th canto was the last chapter before Prabhupada's Tirobhav. He gave commentaries and translations upon. So probably this is the place Prabhupada gave these purports, Prabhuji. This is the place, exactly the place where Srila Prabhupada has given these purports. So this is very, very, very auspicious and very appropriate place to discuss these pastimes. And incidentally, tomorrow is also Balaram Jayanti. So appearance day of Lord Balramji. And we are discussing the playing pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. So although, of course, these pastimes which are written in this chapter, they have taken place in Gokul Mahavan, but certainly the place we are sitting is also the playground of Krishna and Balaram. So that way it is very wonderful occasion that we discuss these playing pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. So in Shastras it is written, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhya. Balaramji is the source of spiritual strength, and without spiritual strength, one cannot obtain God realization or self-realization. Spiritual strength is absolutely required. And Srila Prabhupada is to say also that one cannot attain any self-realization based on material qualification or material strength. It requires spiritual strength, and spiritual strength is obtained by the mercy of Sri Balaramji. So there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. Both are same person, only that there is difference of complexion. Krishna is of the complexion of monsoon cloud. Now monsoon is going on, so we can get some idea of how his monsoon cloud looks like. So we can get some idea of how is Krishna's color. And Lord Balramji's color is of autumn cloud, which comes in a autumn season or winter season. But otherwise there is no difference. Both are same personalities. In fact, Krishna's first expansion is Balramji. Balramji is Krishna's Vaibhav Prakash expansion. Krishna manifests himself as Vaibhav Prakash, and Balramji further manifests into various forms and various incarnations. But the main purpose or the main activity of Lord Balram is to always assist Krishna in his pastimes. Balramji is the most exalted or the most important servant of Krishna. Of course, Srimati Radharani also, but Balramji also. He serves Krishna in very, very intimate way. In fact, it is said that Balramji serves Krishna in all 5 rasas, isn't it? Balramji serves Krishna in Shanta rasa. He expands himself into holy abode of Vrindavan and other spiritual abodes. Balramji also expands himself as bed of Krishna, as Anantashesh, Lord Vishnu. He lies on Anantashesh. So Balramji expands as bed of Krishna. Balramji expands as the shoes of Krishna and various paraphernalia of Krishna, umbrella of Lord. So in this way, Balramji serves Krishna in various forms in Shanta rasa. Actually, in fact, all the paraphernalia of the Lord is considered to be expansion of Balramji. Even Mridanga and Kartal, which you are having, these are also engaged in Krishna's service. So this is also considered to be expansion of Balramji. So that's why there are so many Vaishnava etiquettes are there in order to respect this paraphernalia of the Lord, because this is not some just material articles. These are not some things, but these are directly expansions of Balram, and that's why these Vaishnava etiquettes have to be followed very sincerely. If we do not follow these Vaishnava etiquettes and do not respect the paraphernalia of the Lord, as Lord Shiva also says, isn't it, that Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Better than worship of Lord Vishnu is the worship of his paraphernalia, isn't it? So paraphernalia of the Lord has to be respected as good as Lord. Why? Because it is expansion of Balramji. And if we don't respect the paraphernalia of the Lord, then it constitutes an offense. And when we respect the paraphernalia of the Lord, then we can actually relish, we can actually appreciate the various pastimes of the Lord. Because with the offensive mentality, our heart becomes hard and we cannot relish the pastimes of the Lord. So that's why this paraphernalia, has to be respected. Even we see in Kheturi festival, Narottam Das Thakur and other Vaishnavas that time, they worshipped. They put garlands on Mridanga, Kartal and other paraphernalia. They offered sandalwood paste. So in this way, the paraphernalia of the Lord has to be given so much of respect. Also, Balramji serves Krishna in Dasya rasa. He renders various kinds of services to Krishna. He is the most intimate friend of Krishna in Sakhya rasa. He also comes as an elder brother, so he acts also in Vatsalya rasa. And in Madhurya rasa, he comes as Ananga Manjiri, who is the younger sister of Srimati Radharani, and he serves in assistance to Lalita and Vishakha. So, in this way we see that Balramji and Krishna, they both are eternal brothers. Sometimes Balramji comes as younger brother, sometimes as elder brother. As we know in Lord Ram's Leela, Balramji comes as younger brother, Lakshman. But in that particular pastime, Lakshman had to undergo a lot of austerities. Specifically, he could not tolerate the hardships Lord Ram was undergoing. Lord Ram had to be banished to forest. That time Lakshman was so angry. In fact, he was ready to kill everybody and install Ram, and rebel against Dasharath. He was ready to go to any extent. So, but somehow Ram was very determined, and he said, no, I cannot ever part with the spiritual principles or scriptural values. So I will go to forest. And it was very, very painful for Lakshman to do so. But Lakshman had to oblige. What to do? He is a younger brother, and he had to follow the orders of Ram. So he went with Ram, and so many places, Lakshman had to undergo a lot of difficulties. He had to personally arrange for Sita, to have her taste, fire taste for Sita, Agni Pariksha. Then later on, Ram ordered Lakshman to take Sita and take her into the forest. And in this way, that was so painful, to separate Sita from Ram. It was extremely painful. So all these various things were very, very pain-giving for Lakshman. And that's how Lord decided that next incarnation I will come as elder brother. And in this way, I can serve Krishna with my heart's content. Because I can protect him, I can give him all kinds of facilities, I can give him all types of comforts, and in this way, I don't have to see that he is undergoing any pains. And in this way, he comes as Balram. And in this way, as Balram, he is always so much concerned about Krishna. He is always thinking how Krishna can be protected, how Krishna can be safe, how Krishna can be given nice service, how Krishna can be comforted. This is the mood of Balram. Of course, he always knows, he is conscious of Krishna being Supreme Lord. That's why when Kaliya pastime took place, everybody was under so much of distress, acute distress. Everybody was almost on the verge of death. And in fact, Nanda Maharaj and everybody was just very eager to enter into this Yamuna to bring Krishna back from Kaliya, but Balramji was the only one who was smiling, and he was not afraid because he knew what is Krishna's power. He knew that nothing can happen to Krishna, and in this way he tried to stop everyone, all Brajvasis. He stopped them. He stopped some of them by smiling, some of them by glances, some of them by holding them and stopping them physically. So in this way, Balramji is well aware of Krishna's potencies, Krishna's supremacy. At the same time, he is very much eager to protect Krishna. In fact, when Yashoda Mai, when she knows that Balramji is with Krishna, then she is very anxiety free. If Balramji is not with Krishna, then Yashoda Mai is in great anxiety. What will happen to Krishna? So in this way, Balramji is the constant protector and servitor of the Lord. And Balramji, as we discussed, is the best example of the servant of the Lord. So in this world, Balramji also appears as the spiritual master. He manifests himself in the form of Acharya or spiritual master. And spiritual master, he carries the same mood as Balramji, always engaged into the service of the Lord, always trying to serve the Lord in varieties of ways. So these beautiful verses which Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written, Gurvashtakam verses, it explains how spiritual master serves Krishna in so many ways. We know that spiritual master, Sansara Dava, Nalalida Loka, spiritual master extinguishes the forest fire of material existence, and in this way gives cooling shelter to the conditioned souls. Spiritual master, he engages into the Sankirtan Leela of the Lord. He always engages himself into chanting and dancing, and also, of course, Sankirtan also includes book distribution. So in this way, spiritual master is always serving Lord with his Sankirtan. Also, spiritual master engages into various services of deities. Such wonderful deities are over here and such nice services are happening. That is all because of mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So spiritual master himself engages into service of the deities by worshipping them, by dressing them, and by doing arati. Not only that, he also engages into temple hall cleaning. He cleans the temple hall. So temple hall cleaning also is a part of deity worship, because that's what Shungara Tan Mandira Marjanado. And then spiritual master offers various kinds of bhogas to the Lord, and in this way he distributes prasadam. After the bhoga is offered to the Lord, spiritual master distributes prasadam to the devotees, and in this way he feels very satisfied when devotees partake of prasadam. And then spiritual master is always absorbed into absorbed in meditating on the Lord in various ways. Whether it may be form of the Lord, it may be names of the Lord, it may be qualities of the Lord, it may be pastimes of the Lord. This is the constant absorption of spiritual master. And in his eternal pastimes, in his Swarupa, spiritual master is always engaged in making various arrangements for the pastimes of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Spiritual master assists Gopas and Gopis in making various arrangements for pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So in this way we see that spiritual master, he carries the same mood as Balramji. So he represents Balramji very perfectly. So that's why it is said that spiritual master is, one sense, non-different than Krishna. Although he is the confidential servitor of Krishna, but he acts as the perfect representative of Krishna, Sakshat Haritvena. And that's why spiritual master's mercy is very important for a devotee. Spiritual master also engages the devotees in service of Krishna. It is not that he himself engages in the service of Krishna, but he also he also gives chance to other conditioned souls to engage in the service of Krishna, and in this way their hearts are also purified. We see in this world, in a conditioned state, our heart is filled with so many anarthas, and because of these anarthas, we are not able to serve Krishna very nicely. In fact, for a conditioned soul, there is no impetus to serve Krishna. There is only impetus for serving one's own senses, serving this material body, mind, or material community, society, nation, all these things. There is no inclination to serve Krishna. But it is spiritual master who comes in the lives of devotees, and by his powerful words, he inspires the conditioned souls to engage into service of Krishna. He gives knowledge that how service to Krishna is the real object of life, how service in this material world is so temporary, it is so entangling, it will simply lead to further and further sufferings. But when we will serve Krishna, it will disentangle oneself from this material existence. When one will serve Krishna, then one will get rid of all sufferings of material existence. When one will serve Krishna, it is one's eternal bank account. So in this way, spiritual master very powerfully preaches to conditioned souls, and very efficiently he engages them into the service of the Lord. And in this way he does the highest welfare activity for the whole world, because the highest welfare activity is to serve Krishna. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. When we serve Krishna, when we please Krishna, then everybody is satisfied, everybody is pleased. So this is the very, very great service done by the spiritual master, and this spiritual master is certainly personally empowered by Balramji. And when we get mercy, so yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadat na gati kutopi. When we get mercy of spiritual master, we get mercy of Balramji also. Balramji, spiritual master is a manifestation of Balramji, and that's why when we please spiritual master, we please Balramji or we please Krishna. So in this way, if we actually, tomorrow is Balram Jayanti, and if we actually want to please Balramji, we have to follow the instructions of our spiritual master very seriously. We have to take the instructions of spiritual master to the heart, and we have to be attentive to fulfill these instructions to the minutest details. So in this way, when we do so, then we will certainly receive mercy of Krishna Balram. जय श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय, श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर ललिता विशाखा की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So here in this pastime we see that Krishna and Balram, they are playing like some ordinary boys. We see that boys, when they go for playing, they also become so absorbed. Some of us also might have experienced from our childhood that sometimes the boys, children, they become so absorbed in playing that they don't want to come back. Even they don't want to come for eating, they don't want to go home. Some of us also might have received a lot of chastisement from our parents for not coming home on time. But at the same time, we should not think that Krishna Balram's playing is like playing of any ordinary children. It is not on the same platform. Playing of Krishna Balaram and their absorption in play is completely on the transcendental platform, completely on the divine platform. So we see that many times people, they have a lot of misunderstanding about this. They think that Krishna's pastimes, because they appear like any other pastimes, any other activities of the people of this world, so they mistake the Krishna's pastimes also to be ordinary, or they think the activities of conditioned souls also to be on a transcendental platform, or they are also divine. So once in our temple, one very elderly man came, and there was Damodarashtakam going on. So that time he used to cry, he used to cry like anything while hearing Damodarashtakam. So our devotees, they thought that maybe he is getting lot of bhava, lot of emotions by remembering Krishna's childhood pastimes. So one of the devotee asked him, "So sir, what makes you cry? Why are you crying? Is it that you are remembering Krishna?" So he said, no, actually my grandson is also like Krishna only. In fact, he is Krishna only, he said. He also steals butter, he also plays like this, his complexion is also blackish, and in this way, when I come here, I remember my grandson. So all devotees were so, they were saying what we are thinking about him and what he is actually. So he is trying to think that as if the mundane activities of an ordinary child is as good as Krishna's pastimes. But in Hindi, as we say, Zameen Asman ka farak hai. There is a great difference between Krishna's pastimes and the mundane activities. So playing of Krishna Balram is not like some ordinary children playing. Although Krishna perfectly plays as if he is a child of this world. So in third canto, this Varaha Avatar pastime, there Prabhupada writes that when Krishna takes any form, so he exactly plays the role of that form in a perfect manner. So when Varahadev came, he was acting as if he is a perfect boar. He went into Garbhodak ocean, and there he was smelling the earth like any boar would identify the things by smelling, or he was giving a jerk to his body and dispatching the water from his body. So he was acting exactly like a boar, so he perfectly plays the part of that particular form. But at the same time, we have to understand that the Varahadev is not an ordinary boar, So the incarnation of Varahadev is very, very special. Because when our ordinary boar was, when it gives the jerk to his body, and all gutter water flows out from his body. But when Varahadev was jerking his body, then there was a very purifying water. Even the personalities, sages from the upper planetary system who are already very pure, they felt themselves purified by receiving the waters from the transcendental body of Varahadev. And Prabhupada writes that was as good as Ganges. So we can see there is a great difference between the activities of Varahadev and an ordinary boar. Similarly, here also it applies that the playing of Krishna Balram and playing of ordinary boys is not on the same platform, although they may appear to be doing similar activities. Also, the personalities who were playing with Krishna and Balram were also not ordinary personalities. It is not that anybody and everybody can go and play with Krishna. So as it comes in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarate kena sakam vijarru kruta punya punja. So it mentions that those who are aspiring from Brahman realization, they consider this Lord to be direct Brahman. Then those who are demigods or saintly personalities, they consider him to be Supreme Lord. Those who are materialistic, mundane people, they consider him to be ordinary personality. But these cowherd boys, they were playing with Krishna on equal level. They were playing with Krishna, they were wandering with Krishna in the forest of Vrindavan on an equal level. So in order to be able to do so, Kruta Punya Punja, they must have performed the heaps and heaps of pious activities in their past, spiritual activities in the past, and that's why they have got this qualification to be able to be playing with Krishna and Balram. So these personalities who are playing with Krishna and Balram, they are either the associates of Krishna and Balram directly coming from coming with him from the spiritual world, or they are the personalities who have accumulated great credits, spiritual credits for lifetimes together in order to play with Krishna Balaram. So it is very important that we don't take this playing of Krishna and Balaram, which is mentioned over here, and their refusal to come back. Krishna and Balaram, when they went for playing, so Rohini went to call them, but they were so absorbed in playing that they refused to come back, and they were not ready. So we should not think that this is on the same level as any boys who are playing cricket, and they also refuse to come back home. It is the same thing. It is not the same thing. Krishna and Balaram playing with his cowherd boys is completely on the transcendental, eternal platform. And as Prabhupada mentions that even in the lap of Mother Yashoda, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although he may be playing with his cowherd boyfriends, but he is nonetheless never loses his status as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So also another place Prabhupada writes that Krishna is not the God manufactured in the mystic factory of India. Right? So he is not that type of God. Krishna is always God. He never became God. So even though he was playing with cowherd boys, he was always the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is a proof of that? While he used to play, playfully he used to kill the demons also. That is a proof. So many demons were killed by Krishna in the course of his play, which no ordinary person can do, isn't it? So this is one of the proofs of Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then, at the same time, in order to give pleasure to his devotees, Krishna manifests his pastime, human-like pastimes, so that his devotees will be very pleased, especially devotees in Vrindavan. They love to see Krishna as their very intimate relative, very intimate friend. They love to see him like that, and that's why Krishna manifests this type of pastimes, wherein the devotees don't consider, devotees of Vrindavan, they don't consider Krishna to be Supreme Lord. They consider to be Krishna to be one amongst them. So, especially Yashoda also. So, Rohini is sending Yashoda Mai to bring Krishna and Balaram back. So, Yashoda Mai is the topmost personality in the Vatsalya Rasa, and her feeling is that, out of feeling of parental love, her feeling is that unless until she maintains Krishna and Balaram, unless and until she protects them, they will not be able to survive. That is her feeling. Although Krishna is the one who is making everybody survive, he is the one who is maintaining everyone. But Yashoda's feeling, due to that Vatsalya Rasa, is that unless until he cares for Krishna and Balaram, unless until she cares for Krishna and Balaram, they will die. They will not remain. So she is very anxious that, Krishna and Balaram, they have not eaten since morning. Now the lunch time has come and they must eat. If they don't eat, what will happen to them? They will become weak. They will not be able to survive. So this is the mood of maintenance which is exhibited by the devotees in Vatsalya Rasa. So that's why in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada mentions one prayer by one of the devotees. The prayer is that, let me take shelter of Nanda and Yashoda, who are very nicely taking care of Krishna and Balaram. They are giving nice protection to Krishna and Balaram. They are very anxious to serve Krishna and Balaram. They are acting as parents of Krishna and Balaram, who are the parents of the whole world, all the whole creation. Krishna and Balaram are the parents of the whole creation, but Nanda and Yashoda, they are so exalted that they are acting as parents of Krishna and Balaram. So it is so amazing, and that's why this devotee, he is praying to Krishna, to Nanda and Yashoda, that let me take shelter of them. They are so on such an exalted platform. In fact, in Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada gives even the number of the Vatsalya Rasa, isn't it? First one is Yashoda Mai. Second one is Nanda Maharaj. Third one is Rohini. So that's why we see that, Rohini sent Yashoda to call Krishna and Balaram, because Yashoda was more affectionate to Krishna and Balaram. So Yashoda is first number. Rohini is in the third position. Then fourth one is other cowherd ladies of Vrindavan. elderly ladies, cowherd ladies of Vrindavan. Fifth one is Devaki. Sixth one is other wives of Vasudev. Seventh is Kunti. Eighth Vasudev. And ninth is Sandipuni Muni. So, of course, all of these are perfected personalities, there is no doubt. It is not that somebody is more pure or less pure. They are all perfected personalities. But they are, Prabhupada says, still it is in the order of intimacy, or it is in the order of their importance in relationship with Krishna and Balaram. So Yashoda Mai, in this way we can understand that Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they are the devotees in the topmost platform of Vatsalya Rasa. And that's why it is written that, Prabhupada writes, that they would have to return. If Yashoda called, they would have to return. There is no choice. Because the love of Yashoda is so thick, so intense, that they cannot refuse. So here we see that Krishna and Balaram in these pastimes, they are manifesting both rasas. On one side they are manifesting Sakhya Rasa with their friends, and they are very absorbed in playing over there. Another side, the Vatsalya Rasa of Yashoda Mai and Rohini, that is pulling them. So this is how such wonderful pastimes have taken place. And we see that the Lord, He doesn't allow the devotees of Vrindavan to understand that Krishna to be Supreme Personality of Godhead. He covers them with Yoga Maya, and because of which Yashoda Mai thinks that Krishna is just an ordinary son. He is my son. And Yashoda, again in Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada writes that what is the thought of Yashoda Mai? Yashoda Mai thinks that actually because Nanda Maharaj performed so much worship of Lord Vishnu along with myself, so because of that, Krishna is being saved from so many demons. So that is the reason that Krishna is being saved. And as far as just before this pastime, there was a pastime of this Damodar Leela. This twin Arjun trees, they fell off by the force of Krishna. But what Yashoda was thinking, no, it is because of the force of the wind that these two trees fell. And then it may be that it may appear that Krishna and Balaram lifted Govardhan hill, but actually it must be that Nanda Maharaj must have lifted Govardhan hill. How Krishna and Balaram as small kids can lift Govardhan hill? So this is what is the thought process of Yashoda. She thinks Krishna is just a small child, and how can he do such Herculean tasks? So this is because Krishna covers his exalted, most pure devotees with his Yoga Maya potency, and that's why he acts, as subordinate to his parents. He dances on the tune of gopis, isn't it? The elderly gopis, they make Krishna dance, and they tell him that if you dance very nicely, then we will give you half sweetmeat. Half of sweetmeat we will give you. And in this way, according to their tune, Krishna is dancing. Or sometimes, he is playing with his cowherd boys and gets defeated by them. And sometimes they get great pleasure. Yes, we have defeated Krishna. Do you think, Krishna, you are the most powerful? We are also equal to you, and we can defeat you. So in this way, Krishna performs such wonderful pastimes, but these pastimes, these are the highest manifestation of Lord's supremacy. Krishna as a Lord is not supreme just because he is extremely powerful or he is the supreme controller and maintainer, but also Krishna is supreme lover. He loves his devotee so much that out of love for his devotee, out of his affection for his devotee, in order to please his devotee, Krishna takes a subordinate position, and in this way he exchanges this rasa. So when they are playing, cowherd boys are playing with Krishna, he gets defeated by them. In this way, cowherd boys get great pleasure. But same cowherd boys, when demons come, then they run to Krishna. Krishna, now please save us. Now we cannot do anything. You only have to kill this demon. Please kill this demon. So in this way, we see that Krishna is, always thinking how to please his devotee. And devotees are also always thinking how to please Krishna. So this is what is the mood of Srimati Vrindavan Dham, wherein there is no consideration for personal happiness. There is no consideration for personal gratification, but there is a only desire to please Krishna. So devotees always want to please Krishna in some way or other, and Krishna is also in same way. In reciprocation, he always wants to please his devotees. So this is how is the mood of Vrindavan, and that's why Krishna of Vrindavan Dham is very, very endearing. It's very, very sweet. Krishna's special characteristics of Leela Madhuri or Rupa Madhuri, Bhakta Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, they are all exhibited in Vrindavan Dham because Krishna acts in such a enchanting way that he captures the heart of all the devotees. So, and Balramji is the one of the most integral part of Krishna's all the pastimes. We see that Balramji always was there with Krishna, whether it may be Vrindavan Leela or Mathura Leela or Dwaraka Leela. Balramji is always to the side of Krishna. So, we see that we have to know that these pastimes of Krishna and Balram, these are not exhibited for some time, although they were visible to the people of this world for some time. But these pastimes which Krishna Balram played, sometimes they used to play in the dung of cows. They would hold the tails of calves, and in this way the cows would be very afraid, and the cows would run out of fear, and Krishna and Balram would hold the tail very tightly, and in this way they would be slithering through the mud of Vrindavan, through the cow dung. So all these pastimes, various pastimes which Krishna and Balram have done, some of them are done in this very place. These are not the pastime which happened only some years back 5,000 years back. These pastimes are eternal pastimes of the Lord, and now also they are taking place. At this very place, these pastimes are happening now also, but they are in aprakat form. They are not revealed to anyone and everyone. So that's why this land of Vrindavan, wonderful land of Vrindavan, and all the residents of Vrindavan, associates of Krishna, they are very, very worshipable. They are adorable for all the conditioned souls. So this very holy place, one of the most holy places of Krishna's playground, Raman Reti, Srila Prabhupada, he wanted in 1972, he began to construct this temple, very temple where we are sitting. In 1972, he began construction over here, and he told the devotees that you should build something very wonderful over here, because this is the place of eternal pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. So we should construct very, very wonderful. And if we can't construct anything wonderful here, then it will be great disgrace to America as well as India. Prabhupada said, because if Indians and Americans are coming together, they must construct something very, very wonderful over here. In the beginning, Prabhupada wanted to construct our temple here like Radha Govindji temple, but later on some plans were changed, it seems. So, and then Srila Prabhupada, he told that the central altar over here will be Krishna and Balram. Why? Because three reasons. One reason is, in Vrindavan everywhere there are deities of Radha and Krishna. So in our temple, if the central deities will be Krishna Balram, so it will be unique temple all over the Vrindavan. It will be unique, and also Prabhupada told to name our temple as Krishna Balaram temple. So this will be the unique feature of our temple. Second reason was, Prabhupada told this is a place where Krishna and Balaram, they are doing their playful pastimes. So it will be a very good memorial or a very good offering to Krishna Balaram that we build the temple of Krishna Balaram in Raman Reti. And third reason, Prabhupada also told that this Krishna Balaram, so amongst them Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna, and he is the source of all spiritual strength. Balaramji in his form as Sankarshan, he is holding all the universes. So he is the source of all spiritual strength. And Prabhupada told that if we are facing any difficulty in our spiritual life, then if we are facing the lack of spiritual strength, then we should pray to Balaramji. We should request Balaramji to help us in the lack of spiritual strength. So that's why we should pray Balaramji very fervently. Prabhupada prayed like that. So that's why Krishna Balaram's presence was very much, Prabhupada emphasized that we should have Krishna Balaram as the central deities in our temple over here. And in this way, this wonderful temple manifested since that time, and so many devotees are serving here since that time. And from Pune, whenever we come, or devotees from all over the world, they come. Prabhupada considers this Krishna Balram temple to be one of the most important of his projects. And we can see, yes, it is true, because so many devotees all over the world come. We have personally experienced also when we come from Pune. It is so spiritually nourishing to come to this place and to take shelter here of such beautiful deities, such beautiful atmosphere, such vibrant spiritual atmosphere, which has been contributed by so many devotees since Prabhupada times till now. So many devotees are contributing to such vibrant atmosphere. So whenever we take the devotees to Vrindavan, devotees always say that amongst all temples, still our Krishna Balram, Radha Shyam Sundar, Gaur Nitai, they are most attractive for us amongst all other deities also. So this is all because of Srila Prabhupada and his followers. They are endeavoring very, very much to see that the people from all over the world, they get the experience of Vrindavan Dham. They understand these transcendental pastimes of Krishna and Balram. They get purified of all the contaminations of their heart, and in this way they can attain the shelter of Krishna and Balaram. Same Krishna and Balaram came in Kali Yuga as Gaur Nitai in their most merciful manifestation, and they gave this devotional service to Krishna in Vrindavan to everyone, anyone and everyone, without seeing whether one is qualified or not. They did not consider any qualification or disqualification of anybody, but they just freely distributed this mercy. So that's why we have Gaur Nitai also here, and they went door to door, they preached, they empowered their different soldiers, which are our acharyas, to preach the glories of this Vrindavan Dham. And in this way, although it may be that we are not so qualified, at least I can say about myself, I am so fallen and utterly unqualified, but this mercy showered by Sri Gaur Nitai and subsequent Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, Vartaman Acharyas and other Vaishnavas, this is the great saving grace because of which we are also able to discuss, we are also able to remember these very, very exalted pastimes of Krishna and Balram. So we can pray, especially tomorrow is the most auspicious day of Balramji's appearance, and we are celebrating here in the same place where Balramji played along with the Lord. So we can surely pray to Balramji that he helps us in our deficiencies in spiritual life, and he gives us power so that we can follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada very, very sincerely, and in this way we can perfect our spiritual life. So I would like to stop here and request some comments from Panchagauda Prabhu and any other devotees they would like to. Some correction questions. You are the best devotee.
Mother Rukmini, she knew that Mother Yashoda was, they could not say no to Mother Yashoda. So when we think of pure devotees, we think them on a very high level. So we start comparing that Mother Yashoda is maybe more dear to Krishna Balaram than Rukmini, or she has more love. And how should we take that? Should we start thinking, that there's so many pure devotees, or he's more advanced pure devotee than that one, or is it just being symbolic, or are we just talking that maybe Mother Yashoda's love is more than Bohemi's Devi's love? Is there something you can say like that?
You are the best devotee to answer this, Prabhuji. Anyways, because you are ordering me, so I will just tell my understanding. You can correct me. So as far as I understand that it is not that one is more perfect or another is less perfect. All of them are exalted, perfected personalities. In class also I was mentioning that these are all exalted personalities, perfected personalities, but at the same time there is a intimacy. Different devotees, they have intimacy. Some are most intimate to Krishna, some are, so there is some little gradation in the intimacy of relationship with Krishna. But it is not that somebody is impure or somebody is less advanced. There is nothing like that. They are all very exalted. In fact, I heard that spiritual world, everything begins with perfect. And then some things are more perfect or some things are most perfect. Like Dwarka is perfect. Then Mathura is more perfect. Vrindavan is most perfect. So everybody in spiritual world is associates of Krishna. They are completely perfect. They are completely pure. So there is only a difference in rasa or the intimacy which they have with Krishna. So that way there is a difference given. Otherwise, Krishna loves as such. Another place Prabhupada says that Krishna loves gopis, Radharani also and calf also. It is not that Krishna just loves gopis or Radharani or his friends. He loves even calves and he accepts the service of calf also. So this is you can please clarify, Prabhuji, whether I am saying correctly or not. At least question is that we were discussing that we should respect the paraphernalia of the Lord, but it so happens that we may not respect sometimes perfectly. So what is the solution? So the first solution is that, as per my understanding, is that first solution is that we have to have the proper knowledge and we should be very cautious while dealing with it. So any paraphernalia or maybe it is mridanga or kartal, so that being cautious, so that is first step we have to take, that this is the paraphernalia which is being engaged in the service of the Lord. So with this proper knowledge, if we are cautious, then we will be able to avoid lot of offenses to that paraphernalia. And apart from that, if unknowingly or unintentionally it happens, we can always certainly bow down or we can touch our head to that paraphernalia and seek our forgiveness. So Krishna Balram being merciful, they will forgive the unknowingly or unintentionally done any disrespect towards them. This is what Prabhuji can add. Can add some more things. Time is up, Prabhu. Should I take or?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In the beginning, you mentioned that Krishna and Balaram are in the same platform. What about the qualities of Krishna and Balaram? Is it in the same or is it in?
You are putting me in the same conflict which once Srila Prabhupada was, when the devotees went to Srila Prabhupada, one devotee was saying that there is no difference between Krishna and Balram, the difference is only of color. And another devotee was telling that no, but only, and Prabhupada said yes, that is perfect. And then another devotee went and she told that no, but only Krishna, he enjoys with Radharani, Balram doesn't. Prabhupada said yes, that is also perfect. So what is the perfect among them? Both are perfect. This was only answer I can give, Prabhu. I cannot speak more than this. Prabhuji can speak if he wants. What is the difference exactly? There is color difference, maybe their dress wearing, that is some different. Krishna wears yellow dress, Balramji wears blue colored dress. The Krishna has flute, Balramji has this hull and gada in his hands. So there may be some differences here and there, but in terms of, he is the direct expansion of Krishna, first expansion. So in terms of potency, they are same. That's what I understand. Is it correct, Prabhuji? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.